पाकिस्तान का मतलब क्या?
ये सफर शुरू हुआ तब से जब राहजनों और लुटेरों ने अवाम के हक पे डाका डाला था। वो समझे थे ये नादान है सारे, अपने हक से अनजान बेचारे। क्या मदे मुकाबिल आएंगे, क्या अपने लीडर के हक में आवाज उठाएंगे?
हम छीन के लेंगे।
पर हम सारे इमरान के लश्कर के सिपाही हैं, सो शहर शहर हम ललकारे। हम आजादी के मतवाले, जान लेने के दर पे हैं जिसकी माफिया तैयार है बैठा।
4 लोगों ने बंद कमरे में फैसला किया मुझे मरवाने का।
हम सब खान की ताकत हैं और वो है उम्मीद हमारी। अब हक इंसाफ की गूंजों से ऐवान लरजने वाले हैं, इनकलाब की लहरों से बातिल मिटने वाले हैं।
मोहम्मद कुरैशी साहब, आपने गालिबन एक पिंडी में आज भी रैली निकाली है, तो क्या सिचुएशन है? एक तो पिंडी तो चले एक शहर है, लेकिन पूरे पाकिस्तान से काफिलों को पहुंचना है रावलपिंडी में, तो क्या हम ये कहें कि ये पूरे पाकिस्तान को इकट्ठा करके इमरान खान एक बड़ा जलसा कर रहे हैं? और क्या ये इतना बड़ा होगा कि जहां जहां आप पैगाम देना चाहते हैं वो पैगाम कल चला जाए, जाने वालों को भी आने वालों को भी, और जहां जहां और जाना है?
मैं समझता हूँ कि जो मैंने आज शाम देखा है रावलपिंडी में, और अभी भी मैं मरी रोड में हूँ और जा रहा हूँ एक और मोबिलाइजेशन कैंप की तरफ, मैं समझता हूँ कि कल का जो ये पंडाल है ये तो सिर्फ पिंडी ही भर देगा। मैं अब हैरान हूँ कि जो बाहर से लोग आ रहे हैं उनको हम कहाँ समाएंगे। ये जगह मुझे तंग पड़ती हुई दिखाई दे रही है। ये जितनी लंबी जलसागाह बनाई गई है और ये किलोमीटर्स में है, ये भी मुझे तंग दिखाई दे रही है। सिर्फ रावलपिंडी जो मेन वेन्यू है, मुझे लगता है वो तो शहर से भर जाएगा। तो इंशाल्लाह पैगाम जो आप कह रहे हैं ये पैगाम लेके जाएंगे। देखिए, ये जो एक कल का इज्तिमा होगा, ये एक नुमाइंदा है इज्तिमा। इसमें पंजाब के लोग हैं, इसमें सिंध से लोग आ रहे हैं, बलूचिस्तान से आ रहे हैं, गिलगित से आ रहे हैं, आजाद कश्मीर से आ रहे हैं। तो ये जो पैगाम है इमरान खान का, हकीकी आजादी का, इस इम्पोर्टेड हुकूमत का, जो अवाम का एतमाद हासिल करने में बुरी तरह नाकाम हो चुकी है, जो मईशत को संभालने में नाकाम हो चुकी है, जो मुल्क को सियासी इस्तेहकाम देने में नाकाम हो चुकी है, उसको वाज़ेह पैगाम पूरे मुल्क में फैल जाएगा कि लोग इनसे नजात चाहते हैं। अब नजात का तरीकाकार क्या है? वाहिद तरीका जो हम प्रपोज कर रहे हैं वो इंतखाबात हैं।
शाह साहब, इंतखाबात के लिए इस हुकूमत को जाना होगा। इस हुकूमत को बनाने के लिए रजीम चेंज ऑपरेशन के बाद बाकायदा एक गम लगा के या एक एल्फी लगा के इकट्ठा किया गया था। एक बड़ी तब्दीली हुई है पाकिस्तान की एस्टेब्लिशमेंट में। आपको लगता है कि वो एल्फी अब पिघल जाएगी?
देखिए, मैं समझता हूं कि जो तब्दीली जिसका आप जिक्र कर रहे हैं वो पाकिस्तान के जमीनी हकायक से लाताल्लुक नहीं रह सकते। अगर उनको रियासत के मफादात अजीज हैं और यकीनन होने चाहिए तो वो लाताल्लुक नहीं रह सकते। और फिर ये जो हो रहा है ये रावलपिंडी में हो रहा है, ये कहीं दूर अफ्तादा इंटीरियर सिंध में ये महफिल नहीं लग रही जो उनकी नजरों से ओझल हो। ये तो उनके नाक तले हो रहा है और वो देख रहे हैं कि लोगों के जज्बात क्या है, लोगों के तासुरात क्या है, लोग क्या पैगाम दे रहे हैं मौजूदा हुक्मरानों को। वो कह रहे हैं तुम्हारी फस्तायत से, तुम्हारे जबर से, तुम्हारे जुल्म से, तुम्हारे तशद्दुद से, तुम्हारी मनसूबा बंदियों से, तुमने जो किया अशर शरीफ साहब के साथ, जो तुमने आजम स्वाति के साथ किया, तुमने जो दीगर शुरफा की पगड़ियां उछाली, ये काबिल कबूल नहीं है। ये बड़ा वाज़ेह पैगाम है जो पाकिस्तान की आवाम दे रही।
3 weeks ago, Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan survived an assassination attempt, although he was wounded in the leg. Khan was ousted from office in April of this year after 3.5 years in office. Ever since, his PTI Populist Political Party has made significant gains in regional elections, and he draws massive crowds to his rallies, where he demands early elections, calls out corruption, and points fingers at the powerful Pakistani military for his removal. He spoke with Amna Nawaz this morning ahead of another massive march to Islamabad on Saturday. She asked him how he's doing since the attack.
Well, I was very lucky. I had 3 bullets on my right leg and some shrapnel on my left. So the 2 flesh wounds are healing well, but the bone, where my bone got cracked by the 3rd bullet, that's causing me a bit of a discomfort. But, you know, I expect in the next 2-3 weeks I should be walking, putting weight on my leg.
We should mention the protest march that you've been leading, which should end up at the Capitol at your direction, is to call for early elections, which you've been calling for since you were ousted in a no-confidence vote by Parliament back in April. But there are those that argue that your protests and your disruptions, which have gone on since you were ousted, actually disrupt the political and economic stability of the country. There are scheduled to be elections by next summer, I believe. So why not wait until then and run?
Well, Amna, first of all, none of my activities have been disruptive. We have public rallies. People come to the rallies. We, what is our democratic and constitutional right, we talk about the injustice that is taking place in this country, where this cabal of crooks have been foisted on us. And secondly, the economy has gone to the ground. Financial markets outside Pakistan and within the country have lost confidence in this government. And all our economic indicators are going down. So if they don't hold elections immediately, it doesn't bother my party because we are gaining all the time. But our worry is that they will leave the country in a state where it will be beyond anyone's control.
On this march, you have mobilized thousands and thousands of people to head towards the capital city. How worried are you about the possibility of violence once they get to the capital city, and what can you do to stop it, if so?
Amna, I have done almost 60 to 65 rallies in the last 7 months since I've been out of power. Never has any of my rallies been violent. The only time there was disruption was when this assassination attempt took place. Saturday, when we go to Pindi, actually, rather than Islamabad, it will be a completely peaceful protest. The reason why my strength has grown in Pakistan, why the party has got bigger with time, is because the government has flopped. Now, if it goes the whole way, fine, we will wait. My only concern is that, you know, the way things are going, we could be heading towards chaos. I mean, economic chaos.
But experts who look more broadly say that the country's economic dysfunction is not just about any one government, it is systemic. So you were in power for 3.5 years. What did you do to address those problems while you were in office?
The 2 parties have been in power in Pakistan for 30 years. And 30 years, the military governments have been in power. My party came, you know, we only had 3.5 years in government. We broke all records of exports in Pakistan, and our tax collection was the highest in our history. So we were heading in the right direction.
You have repeatedly accused the United States of conspiring to remove you from office. You also said America treats Pakistan, quote, like a slave. But then a few days ago, in a recent interview with the Financial Times, you said all of that is, quote, over. It's behind me. You indicated you would like to have a good relationship with the United States. So why the U-turn?
Firstly, I mean, it's just a fact that the Pakistan-US relationship has been lopsided. I mean, you know, it is not, for instance, the US-India relationship, which I call a very civilized relationship, a dignified relationship. In Pakistan, you know, we have been, well, the war on terror, we were like a hired gun. And I think it is a very undignified relationship.
If you were to win office, do you believe you could have a good working relationship with the United States?
You know, the United States is a democracy. Democracies accept criticism. democracies accept other people's point of view. Master slaves don't. Pakistan's relationship with the US is very important for us. So just because, of the regime change, it shouldn't mean that I should have not in future any relationship with the US. And yes, I have my right to criticize.
What about in neighboring Afghanistan? When the Taliban reclaimed power last year, you seemed to welcome them back into power. They have dramatically curtailed rights for women. Today marks 429 days since teenage girls were banned from entering classrooms. Were you wrong to support their return to power?
What happens in Afghanistan affects Pakistan. Pakistan needs peace to develop its economy. And then if there's peace in Afghanistan, then Pakistan's future of connecting ourselves economically to Central Asia, it can only happen if there's peace in Afghanistan.
But sir, peace at what cost?
40 years people in Afghanistan have suffered. So all our interest is peace, whichever government comes in. For the first time, there is peace in Afghanistan. Now, about human rights, what is the world going to do? Am I justifying it? All I'm saying is, what should we do about it? Are we going to invade Afghanistan again to liberate the women? What are we going to do? The best way is to engage with them, bring them in the mainstream, and then put pressure on them and hope that the people of Afghanistan, and especially the women of Afghanistan, they're strong enough to assert their rights. Give them time.
In the last year plus, have you encouraged those leaders to let girls back into school?
No, there is no communication. So, if there's communication, we would talk about girls' education and so on.
But do you believe that they should let girls back into school? You have a platform here. If you were to deliver a message to them now, what would you say?
Look, of course, Amna, in Pakistan, in KP, which is the bordering province to Afghanistan, we give special stipends to parents who send their girls for education. We believe firmly that it's women education that actually builds societies.
That is the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, joining us today. Thank you.